Hello everyone, my name is Alicia Jackson, licensed professional counselor, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to review Bad Guys, the animated movie by Universal Pictures that is giving us, I didn't know this was going to happen, but it's giving us a lesson on perception, love, and acceptance. So let's get into it. Of course, I'm breaking down this movie, so you have your alert. Spoiler alert, I'm going to be talking about the movie. Of course, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and join in on the conversation. If there's anything that I'm touching on that you agree with or disagree with, let's talk about it. We are introduced to these group of, we'll say, bad guys, right? Who have been really deemed and perceived as others as mean and intimidating. As we are introduced to the big bad wolf, and he talks about how he's the villain of every story. So when people are meeting him, they're automatically assuming this guy's bad. So along with him, we have the shark, piranha, tarantula, and my favorite, the snake. All of these animals, or even insect, we think about these animals, we tense up, we get scared. I don't want a tarantula in my house. I don't want a tarantula in my house. I don't want a shark. I don't want to be swimming in a shark. I don't want to be around a wolf or a snake anywhere. Now, some people have pet snakes, and God bless them. And at the same time, all of us instinctively do have a phobia or fear that these are dangerous because there's potential that they might hurt you. That's what we think of. There's a potential that some harm is going to come to us. And so our system, our mind tells us the fear that keeps us safe says we're going to stay away. And so that's kind of how they're introduced. The wolf says, hey, come closer. And you notice the camera stays far away. He's like, I get it. I'm a wolf. I'm the bad wolf. And we see how being labeled bad is something that this group of misfits takes on as armor, as protection. I'm bad, and they relish in it. It becomes a badge of honor for them. It becomes something that's an alias, and they say, well, if you feel like we're so bad without even giving us a chance, if you hate us, if you're scared of us, if you're rejecting us, then we're going to come together. We're going to have fun. We're going to be free of other people's perceptions of us, and we're going to show everyone how bad we really are. It's really great to see the friendship that takes space in this group and how they're so loyal and faithful to each other. There's definitely like this, we accept you no matter what. Snake is definitely one of the characters of the group that everybody knows is mean and snarly. And yes, they have these fights between each other, but we know at the end of the day, we accept you, we love you. Period. So Wolf lets us in on it. He says, hey, do I wish that people didn't see us as monsters? Yeah, but it's the cards that we're dealt, so we're going to play them. And everybody thinks we're bad, so we're going to be good at being bad. I think Snake is my favorite. Snake is my favorite because he has this cynical part. He has this cynical part where he's like, everybody hates me. Well, I hate everybody. And so he even said, out of all the people that I hate in the world, you guys, I hate the least. And we see how at the beginning of the movie, they're all sitting down, they are watching the news, and they are relishing. They're enjoying the news, capturing their crime that they've committed and talking about them in such negative ways. And they're like, yes, diabolical. I haven't heard us described as diabolical. That's music to my ears. Until the governor starts to use words that dig underneath their armor of being bad to the bone, and gets at their hurt. It's at their hurt of their rejection, and they do not like it at all. The governor says that she feels sorry for them, that they're second-rate has-beens, that they're angry and in denial and self-loathing. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. She dug deep. She cut deep. That burned their biscuits, okay? And especially the wolf. He didn't like that she was so smart to see their hurt. He didn't like that. Wolf really likes to be the smartest person in the room. He is definitely one of those people. and or one of those wolves or characters. He likes to be the smartest person in the room, and he values his intelligence. He truly does. It's how he's navigated this world of crime. It's what's kept him safe. And it's also a part of his confidence and his belief in himself. So when the governor read him, he said, oh, it's time to outsmart her. It's time for us to steal this trophy and show her that we're smarter than her. Or really show her that I'm smarter than her. And so then the snake is like, whoa, wait a second. Hold on. I thought we were just having fun. We supposed to be just having fun, being free and being friends and just stealing money. And that's it. This isn't supposed to be personal, as he saw that the wolf was very upset with the governor. And so then the wolf outsmarts the snake by saying, hey, well, we're going to steal this from this pig, and don't you like pigs? You want to eat a pig? And he said, oh, so once the snake loves pigs, clearly, so he got him in. So we see at the gala or the ceremony, the wolf makes sure he gets close to the governor. Probably because he likes her. We know that. That's implied, right? And at the same time, he wants to make sure he communicates to her again. I'm smarter than you, okay? You can't tell me anything about me. I'm going to tell you about you. But what the wolf doesn't realize is that there is another character that is smarter than him, and that is the guinea pig. The guinea pig has this masterful plan that really gets to the wolf and plays at his weakness, his hurt. And that really gets to the wolf, as we see later on in the movie. So at the ceremony, the guinea pig disguises himself as this little woman, this little old cute little woman. And the wolf is going to steal this money that's just huge wads of money that's just hanging out of her purse. And the old lady almost falls and tells the wolf how grateful and how he is such a good little boy. And that touches the part of the wolf that has been longing to hear that his whole life, that has been longing for acceptance and love. And once he gets that, he was hooked. Hooked, I say, hooked. We all have a part of us that wants to be loved and accepted. And we've all had a part of us that has even felt rejected or not accepted for who we truly are. And sometimes there's parts of us that have to feel like we have to water down ourselves, make ourselves small, or put on a part of us that like has to entertain people and make them laugh in order to accept us. When really most of the time, those parts that we're taking on to help get that acceptance and that love, they get fatigued from doing all the dancing and proving themselves. And hey, I'm helpful, I'm nice, I'm caring, be my friend, I'm funny, I'm sweet, I'm snarky, all of that. I deserve love and acceptance. And we get tired and frustrated because at the end of the day, we just want somebody to accept and love us for who we are. And this need is even greater. It is even greater, especially when you have been perceived, especially at a very young age, as bad or evil or no good or not going to amount to anything, never going to be anything. If you've never received any validation for who you truly are, yeah, this little part inside of you, if you were a wolf and you got that nudge from this little woman to say you're such a good little boy, I understand why the wolf felt that way. So we see how that key phrase activated, which the movie showed with the wagging of the tail, it activated a part of him that was looking for that. So what that guinea pig said really rang true for the wolf. It clicked for him, like that being good just feels so good. And when you're good, you're loved. So once they have some hiccups in their plan and they get caught still trying to steal the trophy, and the governor starts using words again to get at them, narcissism. And even the guinea pig, walking garbage. We use these words, don't we, to describe behaviors, parts of people that we don't like, that hurt us, or that we feel and we judge as less than. And we have a way of throwing people away if we don't like a part of them. If we don't like a part of them, we'll throw them away. We'll push them aside. We'll put them in a jail cell. We'll cancel them, deem them as bad guys, because that's a part of us. Our culture is coming from a hurt place, right? It's a very common hurt of being rejected. So we see that the wolf, remember, he has to outsmart this governor and quote her just so she can know that, hey, I got close to you. Even trash can be recycled into something beautiful. This was his crafty and persuasive way to get a second chance. And he got it. It worked. Only caveat is his guys, his crew was like, wait a second. Are we going to be good? A part of him really, really wanted to be good at this point, right? But his crew didn't receive his same experience. And so he had to persuade them that it was a plot and a plan, right? To still be bad while everybody else thinks that they've turned good and they're still going to get that trophy. So he convinces them that this is the master scheme. This was his plan the whole time, even though secretly he wants to be good. And so the crew becomes the students of goodness, right? And they're learning and they're fumbling in this class of goodness and learning to be good. I mean, they're failing bad. They try to save the cat from the tree, but they end up scaring it. It's all a mess. And the guinea pig is trying to encourage them using this speech, right? Saying, you've been classified as villains and sociopaths and predators. And there's this flower of goodness inside of you and it's just waiting to bloom. And it got me to thinking, I'm always thinking, it got me to thinking about, how we tell children and how we tell children that it's not okay to call people names. It's not okay to do name calling. When we as adults call people names, villains, sociopaths, predators, right? We classify human beings. We put people in castes and we do that. That's just a really interesting observation as to open up the curiosity to say, I wonder if even though people did bad things, if we took away the shame factor, meaning telling them that they're bad because they're doing bad things, versus just saying what you did is bad and there's still some great stuff inside of you. And I really want to wait for that flower, right, to bloom inside of you because I know it's there. I'm wondering if that would change things. I'm wondering. I'm curious. What do you think? So we see on their way to redemption that the road of change or the path to change is not linear. As anybody who's tried to change any behavior that's ingrained in them, that's a part of them, and is working with a part to help it see something different and do something different, that change is not linear and it creates a debacle in the group. Parts of them are starting to kind of believe the good thing. Parts of them are rebelling against being good, and it results in them having a huge blow up. We see this when they're trying to rescue the guinea pigs, which is again a part of the top guinea pigs master plan. But they're trying to free the guinea pigs, all while Snake is trying to eat them, and the wolf is trying to rescue the guinea pigs, and it's all a mess. The shark is trying to help, and he's got guinea pigs in his teeth. It's just a mess. And this is captured on TV, right? And so even the wolf's good intentions is perceived as bad. It's perceived at he said it right when the cameras caught him and the door opened and all the guinea pigs flew out. He's like, this is not what it looks like, right? But once we put somebody in a category, once we label them, once a part of us feels like, that person belongs over there, they're bad, then it's really hard to unconvince that part. Part is using labeling and judging people as a way to protect them from getting hurt. And so it takes a lot of proving to that part, that judgmental part, or that part that's been hurt, to bend and see maybe there's more to what was happening here. And this really hurts the wolf because he's like, I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to get these guys to be good. This is a lot of work. So what helps the wolf is that the governor comes and she waters that flower of goodness inside of him. She says, I believe in you, Wolf. I'm going to give you a second chance. I know you can do this. I'm not going to bust you for this. I know you can do it. And that helps him to try to rescue this cat once again. He's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And he warms up to the cat. He shows himself as friendly, saying, hey, I'm just like you. Like, I'm a cat. I'm just a bigger cat, and I like to be scratched behind my ears just like you do. And then he scratches and he rescues. The guinea pig catches this, so his plan is working, and the wolf is officially converted. He's converted. He is like, I knew I was good. I knew it. I knew it the whole time. And the crew is not buying it. The snake is skeptical. He's hearing some whispers between the wolf and the guinea pig, and he's like, this ain't right. So he's like, hey, the plan is still the plan, right? It's still the plan. I'm just checking because I'm your boy, right? We still here? We still here? Wolf, yeah. And the wolf is feeling conflicted at this point now because he doesn't want to betray his relationship with the snake. That's his homeboy. He knows how he is. He knows how he thinks, and he doesn't want to tell him the truth that, yeah, like I'm done. Like, I'm done being bad. I want to be good. And this is a really big betrayal to the snake. Why? Because the snake doesn't like anybody. The snake has deemed all people bad. Okay? The snake has deemed, he's one of those people who has a very rigid boundary when it comes to people. Nobody gets in. And so he chose to let his crew in, especially the wolf. And he's like, if you do this to me, this is the biggest betrayal. And the wolf knows how hurt the snake is when it comes to people, and he doesn't want to jeopardize his relationship, so he chooses to be dishonest. He chooses to be dishonest with him. And at the same time, the wolf tries to passively communicate to the snake, like, hey, have you ever wondered, like, what it would feel like for the world to love you? What it would mean for the world to really love and accept you? And the snake said, with his cynical part, it's like, why would I even think about that? I gave up on that dream a long time ago because I know it doesn't exist. And I have to acknowledge our cynical part. Some people have different variants of cynical nature, and not to say that everybody has a cynical part. I will say that most people who have experienced hurt over an extended time from people, especially people that are closest to them and had to deal with rejection, they definitely have a cynical part. And that cynical part protects them from hope. Like, hoping that things change is too risky. That's too risky because disappointment, the fall from disappointment, just hurts so much because we're already at a low point, right? We're already at a low point. And so to get disappointed, that drop even further, that pain is too hard to think about. So I have a cynical part that will protect me from even hoping that life will be different. And this cynical part will help me to know and understand that it just is what it is. People don't like me, people don't love me, and there's no need to hope for anything. And so they're receiving a positive reception at this event. They're trying to steal the trophy, and in the midst of it, the piranha breaks out in song, and they're entertaining the guests. The money is flowing. The guinea pig is happy, right? And they're being received for their goodness. And so parts of them are getting excited about this, like, wow, everybody's liking what we're doing. This feels good. And the wolf takes this moment, or uses this moment, to return the governor's ring to her, to prove that he is good. He's like, you believed in me, and I just want to let you know that I appreciate it. That's what I feel like that was. I want to show you my appreciation for you believing in me. And so then the wolf changes the plan. He tries to be loyal. You see the thumb about to push the button to steal the trophy, and he changes it. He presents the trophy to the guinea pig. He wants to keep being good. And the crew is like, what is happening? You changed everything. Until the meteorite is stolen. And everybody blames them. Even though they didn't do it. Even though they didn't do it. Now this just reinforces the snake cynical part, right? And the wolf, instead of him getting frustrated and hurt and him saying, well, I'm trying to be good. And everybody still thinks that we're being bad. He has like a part of him that's like relentless to prove his worthiness. He's like, I'm going to show you. He gives the governor all the money and all the jewelry that they stolen. He said, here, I give it all back. And this helps the governor to be like, because she's so smart and crafty. This helps her to see like, something else is happening here. These guys didn't do this. But we see quickly how the court of opinion changes so fast. We see it all the time in real life. I mean, we see it all the time. The newscaster said, and this just confirms that change is impossible and stereotypes are real, and judge a book by its cover. I said, whoa, wait a second. And you hear this, you see this often. I mean, so many instances. I can name them all, but I just don't want to activate or trigger anybody because, these instances really do cause a polarizing effect in our world. It causes a lot of discussion, because, this person did this one thing and we thought they were this way and now they're this way, and so now we have to shut their whole career down. And I'm not saying that there aren't times where that is appropriate, because I do think that there are times where people do need to be held accountable. And at the same time, there are times where people make mistakes, human mistakes, and we over respond. And so the plot twist that changes the game is that the guinea pig outsmarts everyone and reveals his true identity and his true intentions. Well, you know that this gets under the wolf's skin like no other, because he does not like to be outsmarted. He lashes out, and the guinea pig uses this to say, like, see, I told you they were bad. See, look, he's yelling and screaming at us, and they take him away. And it further shows everybody else that he's good, right? We know that this causes chaos in the crew, right? They're fussing at each other. The wolf is saying, hey, I'm tired of being scary. And the snake is like, and when are you going to understand that there's two types of people? We're the bad guys, and that's it. People are scared of us, and we just got to play the role. We have to play the villain role. That's what people think we are. So that's how they treat us. It's too much work. It's too much work to try to prove myself as being good. And so then once they make it to the prison, the governor comes and rescues them and shows her, and especially Wolf, that she is truly the smartest one, and that she is the Crimson Paw, right? This thief that has never been caught. And she knows the guinea pig's plan. She knows his plan to use this money and use this meteorite and get away with it and say it was the bad guy's fault. And there's still some dissension in the crew, which causes the separation. Snake and the wolf don't see eye to eye, and the rest of the crew go with the snake while the wolf is with the governor. And Snake reveals some of his story. He reveals some of his pain. He said, nobody came to my birthday. You know why I hate my birthday? He said, because nobody comes to a snake's birthday. And that really hurt. But what hurt most is the wolf betraying him. And so the wolf is really feeling the sting of his behavior and how it impacted the snake. And the governor shares with her how her internal change, she had to grieve her old self. She had to grieve the person that she was. And that was a process, and how the wolf may have to grieve his relationship with the snake and who he used to be, and how that's changed. That's changed everything for him. That's made his whole world different now. The snake shows, the movie goes on, and shortly very after, the snake shows that, hey, he is good, as he gives his push pop to the shark who's heartbroken by all their things being gone because a wolf gave it away, and that the group is not what it used to be. And they're like, oh, you are good. And so we see that unfold as the movie ends, as the snake pretends to band with the guinea pig and think that he's bad, right? But in turn steals from him in order to prove that he is good. And so Wolf's seed of goodness that he planted in his crew helped to bloom their flowers of goodness, and Wolf was able to prove and show his loyalty to the snake by coming back and rescuing him. Some interesting observations that can be made in this movie. Definitely an emphasis of good versus bad. That's the part that makes a part of me kind of cringe, because I know that this is a very common thought in our culture. Good people, bad people. And that's what really contributes to this labeling people and putting people in boxes, saying, oh, you're a narcissist, or you're a criminal, you're a villain, you're a predator. And not to say that they don't have parts of them that are like that. And at the same time, we all have worth. We all have a part of us that has value. We were born worthy. And there are things that we do that do hurt people. Well, there are things that are classified as bad, right? And at the same time, the good versus bad puts us in a space where we are putting a heavy responsibility on ourselves to behave in a certain way, and we're putting that same burden of responsibility for others to behave in a certain way. And I'm not saying that that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's what happens, right? That's what happens. And it's something for us to get curious about. Another thing for us to get curious about, I think this movie was pretty crafty. And the fact that another interesting observation that I saw was the criminals or the thieves in the movie, right? The people who were stealing, they were classified as bad guys, right? Okay. And the governor, the politician in the movie, was an ex-criminal or a criminal in disguise. You tell me how you see it, but this is right. And the person that was perceived as good in public opinion was a rich person, but was really doing some really horrible things and plotting and making the criminals, scapegoating them while getting away with doing a lot of harm and stealing money and lying to people. I think that was a very interesting observation. Pretty deep for a cartoon, and at the same time, that's what was happening. You take that observation how you take it. You let me know how you feel about this good versus bad, seeing people as good versus bad. What are your thoughts about that? Putting people in categories, labeling people instead of their behavior. How does that play out in our world? How does that play out for us internally? As the same measuring stick that we use for other people, it's the same one we use for us. So the amount of grace that you give other people, if it's limited, if you don't give people grace, you normally don't give yourself grace. I think there's and sometimes it can be a little confusing because some people let people off the hook, and that's different than giving grace. Giving grace, you can hold people accountable and say, what you did was wrong. And at the same time, I'm still going to believe that you can do better. Even if you don't. Let me know your thoughts. Comment below. Of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, be cool, be calm, be centered. Peace.